Welcome to the Danger Zone, it's Ashley. Everything in my video can be found somewhere online on a public domain. The full disclaimer's down below. Lots of love and many blessings your way. And to Natural Mystic, Nikki, Peter, and Beth, thank y'all so much. So according to some flight logs, in 2003, the Lolita Express started going over to South Africa on a regular basis. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, George Clooney, Kevin Spacey. They've collected quite a many frequent flyer miles on the Lolita Express. And it seems to be listed as if the Clinton Foundation was the reason why, saying they were there trying to do something instructive for those fighting AIDS. And Ghislaine Maxwell seemed to have never missed a flight. Here's a list of everybody that's been on Lolita Express to our knowledge. Now, those are people that have flown on the Lolita Express to wherever they were going. What we're not being told are who are they meeting up with once they arrive. And I want to thank everybody that helped me with this information. In 2010, did you guys know that Harry met up with these people once they landed in South Africa? Playing this Good Samaritan role, trying to do the greater good for the people of South Africa. Keep in mind, Harry's hanging out with these people even after the 2008 conviction of Epstein, who at that time was a registered sex offender. So this does not just involve Prince Andrew. Here's Bill Clinton and Ghislaine Maxwell in South Africa during one of these visits. And Harry was said to have been there during this time. If anybody out there has more information on this, I would love to know about it. And if anybody caught Good Morning Britain on the 6th of July, I hope you picked up that this woman that was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell was speaking of Jeffrey Epstein in the present tense. I know in my heart that joker is not dead. Quite the contrary, and I believe very well protected. And as far as all of the pictures they entertained us with, I felt like that was Hillary Clinton's brother. Everything's coming together slowly. Now that I know that Harry's involved with these people, everything makes sense as to why they're continuing to bash the royal family, rip them to shreds, expose them in books, keep secret diaries. They're blackmailing these people, which totally explains why they've not been yet cut off financially from Charles. And I believe that's why they kept Marcus around for so long. There was one event where no cameras or phones were allowed, and pictures were actually leaked that were taken standing right next to Meghan and Harry from inside Buckingham Palace during this event. And I believe the only thing that makes sense is those pictures were taken by Marcus. And at this same private affair, the Obamas happened to have been there. Y'all, this runs really deep and twisted. When Meghan was doing an internship for the United Nations, she met up with Barack and Michelle Obama, as well as the Clintons. Now, allegedly, at that time, she was one of Epstein's yacht girls. Now, if you've never heard the term jet setter babe, it's just a bunch of young women willing to be escorts for these wealthy men that are willing to travel. Now, I always heard that she met Ghislaine Maxwell as a jet setter babe and was introduced to this yacht girl lifestyle. So she just traded a plane for a boat, that's it. And through Ghislaine is how she met all of these people, including Harry and Charles, in which she met them in 2015 in Istanbul at a Soho grand opening. And how strange that it wasn't a year later that she was introduced again to Harry through a blind date from Marcus at the Soho house. And where did Harry take her? To his favorite place on planet Earth, Botswana. Okay, so why did they have to bring a child into this? This is where I get hung up. In my opinion, they didn't have this baby naturally. She was never pregnant. When a woman is pregnant, her belly is still a part of her body. It does not go right when you go left. It does not go down when you go up. Keep in mind, when she rounds the corner, this belly is all over the place. I want you guys to also notice, when she lets his arm go, she puts up her sleeve. And I believe that was, some sort of communication between the two, because he locks in her eyes and gives her a horrible look. Like, is everything okay? That's just what I'm seeing. And here's the same piece, but in forward motion. And you can clearly see this is a prosthetic bump. It's not moving with her body. It's moving against her body. She lets his arm go. She pushes up her sleeve. Her stomach is still wherever. She's trying to hold it. This is nothing but communication between the two. Why did they feel like they needed to bring a child into this scam? Why? That's the question. And as hard as he's going after his family right now, it just seems like they have some sinister plans in the works for the future. There's too many nasty people involved. And if he can turn on his family just as he has, can you imagine if ever he was to gain, him or her, a political seat, what they would do to this country or your country? And this is exactly the direction they're moving towards. She and Michelle Obama have a plan to speak later this month on some Zoom call for this global leadership summit for Girls Up. She is scratching at the walls, trying her best to find her spot in politics. And that's exactly where this is going. And for some reason, it seems like breaking down the royal family, destroying that entire structure of the monarchy would better benefit them, politically speaking. I've just not figured it out yet. So shortly after they did that Zoom conference with all the young people the other day, where he called out his family, saying the only way they could move forward would be to apologize first, Charles, as it was told to me, contacted Harry, putting him on blast. What are you doing? Why would you do this? What they did, what they said, and how they acted started a brand new war, of course, between Meghan and Harry and the royal family. If you guys haven't heard, she and Eugenie have been going at it pretty hard lately. And we can talk about that in the next video. All of a sudden, Hillary Clinton's trying to coddle Harry and Meghan, reaching out to them, trying to make them feel better about what they said regarding the royal family. What does any of this have to do with Hillary Clinton if they're not all involved? And can I just say this? That was a very odd video conference call. I hate to sound cuckoo, but it seemed CGI to me. The entire thing was extremely glitchy on their end. Why? I'm not kidding you guys. When they blinked, it skipped. When they moved, it froze. It was really glitchy. To me, it seemed computer generated. And it would make sense as to why nobody else got a word in edgewise. There was literally a 1.5-minute pause where another young man could speak. But this one line that she said kind of tripped me up, like this can't be real. Now, after that young man spoke his turn, she came in with, "Now what I heard, ... Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a complete dumbass. I know what she meant by saying that. However, felt like it was just another mind game, like she was trying to convince people that she was actually sitting there. To me, it looked and felt totally unnatural. Too glitchy.
Time's sake, we're going to have to be a little uncomfortable right now, because it's only in pushing through that discomfort that we get to the other side of this and find the place, as you're pointing out, where a high tide raises all ships. Equality does not put anyone on the back foot. It puts us all on the same footing, which is a fundamental human right, and that's what we're talking about here. The world is craving a healing through everything that's happened over these several months, and we really look back at history for obviously much longer than that.
Can y'all see the difference between the two videos, him in his yard and them in that Zoom conference? I would really like your opinions. Anyway, you guys, I feel like I've talked way too long today. I just felt like I needed to get on here and share that bit of information as to, how she met GHISLAINE and how they introduced her to these people and how it's all coming together. And of course, I'll keep you updated on everything I find out. And I feel like if we stop talking about them, they're just going to get away with it. And I'm not really too thrilled on that idea. I hope you're all having a really great day today. I'll see you soon and we'll talk fast. Y'all stay safe and be blessed.